months. A lot of people are upset with Mitch McConnell. A lot of people might be upset with Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, they're very upset if they're already doing graffiti outside of her and Mitch McConnell's houses.
Yes, they sure is, and that's why I brought this topic up to try to calm people down and think. Because you do have to put yourself in their shoes. You might have a patriot of this government, Mitch McConnell. A lot of people support him of his state. He just got reelected.
And he's also from your state.
Kentucky. Which is true. But yes, he might be a patriot to know some information of the future about this money, handouts, and all this stuff here, and trying to hold everything together. Then you might have Nancy Pelosi being a patriot to see the need. And there was a conflict between that, which is kind of good because there is a discussion. But me, myself, I just think, in my opinion, it should have been decided a long time ago. But I do give the respect to both of them to lay down their arguments and don't cast out judgment towards them.
Right. And I mean, none of us are sitting behind the table or the doors. So we don't have the whole articles right in front of us to dissect and figure out which one should be in the bill and which one shouldn't be in the bill. That's not our job. Our job basically right now is just coming up with the theme of the stimulus and why most people are worried about how much this next person have in a pocketbook, or what are they taking their stimulus and doing with it, and how can they be a better person to manipulate you out of the little bit of money that was given to you. So all of that is not needed in 2021. This is a new year. We're walking into this with courage, with moral courage. We're speaking out for what is right and just.
Yes, my people. And before we go to this break, we'll leave you on that notion to meditate about the questions that I'm about to lay down to you, and you write them down and write down this Gmail address, which is tcmissionspeaks@gmail.com, and write to us and explain your answer to some of the contents that we was just explaining.
And also, we can be reached at Transitional Changes Mission on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram on Anchor. We're able to be listened to on Speaker, Spotify, Castbox, Deezer, and Podchaser.
So when we come back, after I leave you with these questions here, do you want more? Is more needed? And do you think more is coming?
In regards to the stimulus.
Yes.
So right, ponder those questions, and we'll be back after the break.
Yes, and we got some more exciting discussions about this stimulus check. The new 2021 is here, and how we going to save our money, be better this year, and everything. So contemplate about that, think, meditate, get your drink, and stay tuned.
The Sky Sale is now on. And who doesn't need a pick-me-up at this time of year? So get award-winning Sky TV and our best ever Wi-Fi with ultra-fast broadband together from just €50 a month for 12 months.
Well, that's nice.
That's a feel-good saving from us. So save big on the Sky Sale. Search Sky 50 today. New Sky customers only. Availability subject to location, minimum term, and further terms apply. For more info, see sky.ie/speeds.
Vodafone's superfast gigabit broadband is taking over. We've got fibre broadband here in Dublin, here in Clifton, and now here in Athy. We could soon be powering this podcast you're about to listen to, so you can wander on your computer from the comfort of your own sofa. Get Vodafone Superfast Gigabit Broadband, now available to more people than ever before, from €30 per month. Search Vodafone Gigabit Broadband. Terms apply, subject to availability and selected areas. Average speeds. See vodafone.ie/fixed terms for full details.
Thank you.
winter colds and flu can really drain your energy. But don't let them get in the way of your day. At the first sign of a cold or flu, reach for Benylin Day and Night, the only cold and flu remedy to offer 24-hour relief, with tablets for day and night. Trust Benylin to take care of your cold and flu symptoms. Ask your pharmacist for advice. Benylin Day and Night. Always read the label. See benylin.ie.
Your credit union just got even better. You can now use your credit union for all your day-to-day banking needs. Current Account from your credit union comes with a globally accepted debit card for use in store, online, at ATMs or contactless payment. It also gives you low and transparent fees and the same personal service you have come to expect from your credit union. The new Current Account from your credit union. Finally, a real choice. For participating credit unions and terms and conditions, visit currentaccount.ie. Credit unions are regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Hello and welcome to Transitional Changes Mission Podcast Show. This is your host, Queen Summers.
And your host, King Summers.
Now, some people, as they have been listening to the show, are trying to figure out, we're listening to you talk about moral courage, but what exactly does it look like? Well, I'll tell you. Moral courage is picking up litter, trash on the ground if you're walking outside. It's doing homework or chores without being reminded. It's refusing to listen to or repeat gossip. You know, we always have somebody around practicing what you preach, even when no one is looking or knows. A teenager who calls home for a ride from a party where alcohol is being served. Now, lack of moral courage looks like walking away from someone in need, taking more than your fair share, laughing at someone else's misfortune or accident, grabbing the spotlight from someone who has earned it, or remaining silent in the face of wrongdoing or injustice.
Yes, my people, that is a good way to explain more. And sure enough, to meditate about those questions that I left off on the first half, which was, do you want more? And that's kind of an easy question. Most would say yes. And I asked, do you need more? Both of them are coinciding to each other, and both of them to me is a yes. Do you think more is to come? I say no. And there is reasons why I say no. But I'm going to talk about that on another topic. But at this moment, I wanted to see if I can get some emails in on those particular questions. Now, to lead to the second half about what I'd like to discuss with, about how do I feel about receiving these extra funds that help my family out. And I want to lead to questions to the audience about that. How do you feel about these handouts? If basically some of them is not handouts, like I stated before, unemployment is not a handout.
Stimulus could be considered as a handout. I think that most people feel like, they waited long enough. They're finally, it's a sense of relief. Like, you know how you take that breath of fresh air and you just get that extra breath, like, ooh, it's like a little relief. It's not a lot of relief, but it's enough relief to move on to a better day.
And to lead to the audience that is listening that does not agree to a help out, handout, stimulus, take into consideration that a pandemic came. It wasn't that a button, well, that could be a conspiracy show. It wasn't that it was a button that was hit for the pandemic just to change the way of life. Some may do it. That's why I say it might be a conspiracy. We do have a conspiracy show coming up on that. But as of right now, just the overview look of it, the lead to the question that I'm asking, does it make you feel like you're a child? Because when the pandemic came, you was earning your funds.
Right. Personally, and I try not to get as personable with my opinion, but in this situation with my opinion, I don't look at it as if I'm being treated as a child. I do look at it as the more you receive, the more that you are opening the doors up for the amendments to maybe be changed from a capitalist society to a socialism society. I don't think enough people have done their research on what involves in a socialism environment society.
And I ask my people to do more research. Type in socialism, and you will see there is different forms of socialism. With the future of right now, if anybody is to say that we are heading into a socialism, write to tcmissionspeaks@gmail.com and tell us what you feel, which direction of socialism are we heading to. But that was one of my questions that I want to leave the audience to think about. How do you feel about getting these funds? But one thing also I want to lead to discuss to people and hopefully influence them to do different this year is to manage the money that you have received. Meaning that from the last previous show on New Year's, we are trying to encourage people to take what had happened last year as a learning lesson. And last year we did receive a stimulus check of $1,200. Yet again, I was out again in society and people was going crazy. I seen 95-inch televisions and buggies. I seen people running around. Gas stations was full. Everything. It was just like at a bump of people receiving. You would know in your city when a large amount of people have gotten a stimulus check.
Yes, I had a lady call and tell me that she actually went to a local Walmart and there were no buggies. And as soon as she walked in, the buggies that were occupied were filled to the rim.
Wow.
And she said she had never seen nothing like that in all 50 plus years of her life.
Wow. And that's what I want to reflect back on as 2020. That was a mistake. Just look at it back as if you did have those items and you went out and did those things. Don't look at it as a bad thing. Like I said in the previous show, don't never look back in your past like it's something that you done wrong. It's always a journey for you to go through to correct or be able to not step into that pothole.
That's right. So now that we know what moral courage looks like, this is what moral courage sounds like. That joke was offensive to African Americans, Muslims, etc. Let's volunteer. I'm going to campaign for blank. It's not fair that blank. I'll march with you. No thanks. I don't want to hear a secret. You shouldn't talk behind his or her back. Will you sign this petition? You can depend on lack of moral courage sounds like. It's none of my business. She got what she deserved. That's got nothing to do with me. How could you do this to me? It's not for me to judge. I only did it once. This is all your fault. Just let it slide. There's no use trying to change the system. It's just too strong. Nobody else is doing anything about it. Why should I? I might get into trouble. Don't make waves. It's always nice to be able to kill two birds with one stone. But in this case, I think the two birds are flying off in different directions when we think about what we are getting and what we are receiving.
Yes, my people, and that is a blessing to receive and give. And one thing the Transition to Changes mission will do different this year, we got a lot of hotlines on helping people in domestic violence or any type of bad situation. But I am doing a call out to anybody that is